Hey guys, welcome to a new tutorial video. Welcome to my channel. On today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make this outfit, but on this particular video we'll be learning how to make the upper part of this outfit. So let's get into it. So guys, the first thing you need to do is to draft out your pattern. So I just wanted to show you a clear view of this outfit. Okay, can you see the upper part? You see that the upper body is higher. The neck part is higher on the upper part. All right, the neck part is higher upwards. For the lower part, I'm going to explain it later on in another video. Let me know if you want me to illustrate the bottom part. For this tutorial, we will go with the upper part. Okay, so for the upper part, we will first of all draft out our basic bodies. Now, if you are a designer or a beginner and you really want to be perfect, the first thing you need to know how to do is to draft out your basic bodies. Okay, and so if you don't know how to draft out a basic bodies, I have a detailed tutorial on my channel that you can watch to learn how to draft a basic bodies. Is not complicated, it's very simple for you to understand. Okay, so I'm drafting my basic bodies. I won't do much explanation because I already have a detailed tutorial on that. So the first thing you need to do is to draft out your basic bodies, your neckline, your shoulder slope, and your armhole. Okay, then the next thing you need to do is to just dip the neckline. The normal measurement for dipping the neckline for the front is 3 inches. Okay, 3 inches wide, 3 inches deep. For the back part, 3 inches wide, 1 inch deep. Okay, my older subscribers already know this. So then I also tighten my shoulder slope. I always say it in my video that the reason why you have to tighten your shoulder slope is because you have to remove that pointy look. Okay, you know, when you're done sewing and you don't tighten your shoulder slope, the shoulder area where you join your shoulder of the front and the back together, it will look pointy. So to eradicate it, now the next thing you need to mark out are your points, the lines that you're working with. So you're working with from your shoulder to your chest line, from your shoulder to your bust point, from your shoulder to your under bust, from your shoulder to your half length or your half cut. These are the points you need to mark out on your bodies. Hope you understand. Just take it step by step. All right, then when you've marked your line, make sure you label these lines. I always say it, you label your lines so that you don't get confused in the process. Okay, then when you're done labeling your lines, the next thing you need to do is to mark out your nipple to nipple or your bust span line. Your nipple to nipple or your bust span line. Okay, you mark it out a straight line. You mark it, make sure that the line touches from your half length to your bust point to your under bust. If possible, it should also touch your chest line. Okay, we'll be working with our chest line mainly on this tutorial. Okay, so now the next thing we'll have to do is to create our breast area. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you this illustration using a princess dart bustier. There's also another way to get this top, but I feel this is going to be easier and more simplified for you to understand. Okay, there's also a freehand way of getting this, but I think pattern drafting is better. Okay, so now I've drawn out my nipple to nipple line. Now I'm going to mark out my line to create the breast shape, okay, for our bodies. I also have a tutorial video on how to perfectly draft a princess dart bustier. So just watch that video and it's very simple to understand. The most important thing is very simple to understand. Okay, so when you watch that video, you know how to perfectly draft out your princess dart bustier for your bodies. All right, so now the next thing we need to do is to connect our lines. So we connect our lines, okay, from your armhole area to your bust point. Okay, people that already watched my tutorial video, I'm very sure you understand this part. So basically on your armhole area, you divide your armhole by 2. Whatever you get, you connect it to your breast part, your bust point, and then you come down by 1 inch again. Can you see? And connect it back to your waist, to your bust point. Now you ask me, why do you have to come down by 1 inch? So that you tighten that bust area. You know, most times when some people wear an outfit, okay, the bust area is flabby, like it has like a puff, an excess of material. So to eradicate that excess from your armhole area, that's why you come down by 1 inch on your bust area to connect it to your armhole area to connect it to your bust point, okay, to eradicate the bulge from your breast part. All right, so you increase your line by 1 inch or 2 inches. Now the parts that I'm marking, we're going to cut it out. So I'm just drafting a princess that bustier for you, but it's not well detailed. If you watch, you see I'm not explaining it. I'm not taking my time to explain it because I already have a tutorial video on a perfect explanation, very simple and very understandable. Okay, so we're not here to draft a princess that bustier. I'm here to show you the basis and how to get that design at the upper part of the outfit. Okay, so guys, if you have any question up to this point, let me know in the comment section and I'll try my best to explain to you. Okay, thank you to my subscribers. Please click on the subscription button if you've not subscribed and click on the notification bell. Now this is the most important part. On your chest line, you go up by 2 inches. Did you see what I do? On my chest line from my center front, I went up by 2 inches, and then I'm going to create an arc-like shape from my armhole to that 2 inches that I went up. So from your chest line, you go upwards by 2 inches or 3 inches, depends on how high you want the design to be for you. Okay, how high up the neck you want the design to be for you. So I went up by 2 inches and then I connected the line to my armhole. Do you get, guys? So to get that shape on your chest line, you go up by 2 inches or 3 inches, and then you create an arc from that line to your armhole. So when you're done, this is how your pattern is going to look like. This is the center front. Remember to always label your patterns, please. And that is the side front. Now you see that the side front has an excess. Don't be worried, okay? It's still okay. This is still our pattern. Okay, we can still alter it later. All right, so this is how your center front pattern is going to look and the side front. Remember what I said, to get this shape from your chest line, you go up by 2 inches or 3 inches, and then you connect the line to your armhole like an arc. All right, you can use your curved ruler to get the shape. So we're done with our front pattern. Do you understand up to this point? Now I've cut out my material. The fabric I'll be working with is an Ankara fabric. So you cut out your fabric and your lining, and then you notch the center front. The center front. Make sure you notch your center front. Okay, so you're going to cut your fabric and your lining, and then you pad your bust area if you want to. I have a detailed tutorial on how to pad your bust area, how to pad it. You watch that tutorial video, and then you join your material first. Can you see that even though this tutorial is in a miniature form, the breast part is standing even without a cup? So if you make a perfect princess that bustier, right, your breast part is going to be pointy, standing, even without adding a foam to it. Okay, so when you make your princess that bustier or your bustier at all and the breast part doesn't stand well, just know that you didn't do a good job. Okay, so just watch the tutorial video. So now I'm just shaping the sides. Can you see the shape on the upper part? Can you see that shape on the upper part? You see that the upper part is higher. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for our lining. Okay, our lining is going to be exactly like this. All right, so I've already cut my lining and then I'm going to join it. Now this is for the front part. For the back part, is very simple. Just draft out your normal princess that bustier for your back part. You have the zipper allowance area, your chest line, bust point line, your waistline, and your half cut line, right? Then you get your dart legs for your princess that bustier for the back part, right? Just draft your princess that bustier for your back part, right? But make sure you mark your chest line. Now that chest line, you extend the line to your armhole like so, as I'm doing. Can you see? Then you cut out that upper part. We don't need the upper part. It's the bottom part we need. if you look at the tutorial, if you look at the picture, you see that it's an off-shoulder dress. So in order to get an off-shoulder dress from your princess that bustier, what do you need to do? To cut out from your chest line. Once you cut out the chest line, what do you have? An off-shoulder. So do you get how you can determine, or how you can get an off-shoulder dress from your bust, from your bodice? It's very simple. This is how you get it. So I'm just trying to cut out the lines that I have, and then my back bodice is ready. You don't need to do any special thing for the back bodice. Okay, now if you look at the picture, you see that this dress, it does not have an armhole. It doesn't have an armhole, right? The dress is just sitting directly under, the top is just sitting directly under her armhole area. It doesn't have an armhole where she needs to fix in her arms or anything. No, it doesn't have an armhole. So on your armhole area, when you are cutting the back part, okay, you don't need to curve it on that armhole area. No. Can you see what I'm showing you? On that armhole area, see where I'm pointing. You don't need to give it that curve. No, you don't need to give it that curve. Just cut it straight up. Do you get? Because we're going to close that part. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what is going to make the dress to like fit perfectly when you shape it very well. Okay, so we're done cutting. If you have any question on this back part, let me know in the comment section. Okay, I think I'm too fast, but just let me know in the comment section. Okay, so this is the back part. The same thing you did for the front, you do it for the back. You cut out your lining and your material. Now when you're cutting on your fabric, please add your 1/2 inch cutting allowance, joining allowance. Okay, this is just a miniature, that's why I'm just cutting it direct on it like that. Do you get? So I've joined the back part. Now I want you to notice something. Can you see the zipper allowance area? Can you see how it's looking sleek? It's not straight. And then can you see the dart part? You see the shape of the dart. So that's why most times I always prefer to get my that's my off shoulder from a princess that bustier, because the dart legs are going to be looking so good. It's going to give you that shape. Okay, so now we're going to join the lining to the back part. That's turn it up to the back part, and we are good to go. Now for the front part, you see that the front has a rope or like an applique, but I want to teach you how to use a rope for it if you don't have money for applique. Okay, so what you need to do is to get a long strip material and fold it as if you're folding in a bias form. Okay, now the long strip material, you have to measure your client, okay, and fold it as if you're getting in a bias form. Just fold the long strip material in a bias form first. So this is the back part. I've turned it up. Can you see? So we're good to go with the back part. Just match down the under part. Remember, this tutorial has a part 2. So let me know if you want the second part. But let's continue. So for the front part, right? Now to add that rope, okay, I already have my lining. So when you've turned your rope in a bias form, you put it like this. That's why I say always notch your center front. You fix it on your center front. Can you see what I did? The part where I notched my center front, I'm going to pin the rope there. Can you see what I'm doing? So you make sure you pin the rope first. Inwardly, you see that the rope is flat on top of the material, not outside. Then you place your lining on top of it, so that when you close the neckline, you see how lovely it's going to look. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is what? Join your lining to your main fabric and close the neckline and close the sides. All right, so I'm done closing it. Now let me turn it so that you will see what I'm saying. Can you see our rope? Can you see how lovely it looks? Can you see, the most important thing is, can you see how neat the inner part is? So this is how to get that structure, okay, if you don't have an applique to work with. All right, so let me know if you want to see the second part. That's the bottom part of this tutorial video, and I'm here for you always to do that. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. And if it was, guys, please click on the subscription button, subscribe, like, and share. See you on my next tutorial. Bye.